Welcome back to Naruto Anime Review. This is part 20. I know it's been like a couple months since I did a review. I know it's been like a month since I did this since, well, last one I did this was when I did the final episode, review of the final episode of Naruto Shipudden. The whole point of this video is simply put what I promised in the last video of the series, which was my final thoughts on the series. As for the 3 OVAs I haven't watched yet, I'm going to save that for a special. Shippuden itself, from what I have watched, was actually a really good series. Despite a couple hiccups when they tried to change the animation during the Pain arc, the animation was top notch. So Parrot did a great job with the series. Though in the case of basically voice acting, the first 98 episodes I watched under English dub. The remaining 402 episodes I watched entirely subbed. Yes, I watched the remainder of the series after episode 98 subbed. I did not have a big problem with that at all, simply because, well, I still got a chance to watch it. Mainly the reason why that was because Hulu only had the first 98 episodes dubbed, despite the fact I have recently found that when I went to Walmart, as of now, the first 388 episodes have been released dubbed. For some reason, Hulu didn't have the remaining episodes dubbed. That were released dubbed anyways. But as of now, as of the last DVD I saw, which had Mandarin Chia on the cover, yeah, it's Mandarin Chia in his, I would say when he was, during his battle with, the armor he wore during his battle with, the first Hokage. The red armor he wore. But, yeah. That particular DVD I saw, Walmart had episodes 375, 388, which is basically, from what I can tell, the remainder of season 17, and simply put, I would say, I think that might have been like the entirety of season, almost the entirety of season 18, maybe. But there's still like 112 episodes left to be dubbed and released on DVD. When I last saw it, the next time they release anything dubbed won't be released until July. Yeah, we have to wait until July to get more stuff dubbed. Doesn't really matter to me that much because it's just different dialogue. It's just the way the things are spoken. Just that there's no, honorifics. Now, I'm also want to talk about stuff I really did want to see in the show, but my guess is probably due to the fact they didn't want to have the show at the same time as Boruto, which is 3 episodes in, by the way. Either that, or they probably just wanted to end it quickly. But there are some things I did want to see from the show. One, of course, was I wanted to see Naruto Hinata's wedding, because they have been hyping that up during the last arc, and we never got a chance to see it. Because, well, that. Though, my personal idea is simply show the wedding and the honeymoon. Yes, because they got a honeymoon, which was brought by Shikamaru during the last arc. When he brought them a honeymoon to the land of snow. We're not thinking, that's not a bad idea, since Naruto was there in the very first film. Yep. So, it'd be nice if they actually had a film where they simply just show the wedding and the honeymoon. Have their call Naruto, Adventure in the Land of Snow. Yeah, that would be nice, but it all depends upon if Parrot actually wants to do that. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of milking the franchise, but it'd be at least an interesting idea. I mean, I'm sure some Naruto fans probably do want to see that. I mean, there's some other things that needed to be adapted, but my guess because of time constraints, they couldn't do it. Like, the Sakura light novel. That was never adapted. The only light novels were adapted during the final season was the one for Sasuke. Actually, I think it's one of 2 he had. Shikamaru, and the one used for the final arc, Hidden Leaf Story, A Perfect Day for a Wedding. Those 3 light novels were adapted. There were several others that needed to be adapted. Like, there was one about New Akatsuki, there was one about, the Sakura one, and the one about Gaara. Yep. Excuse me. But my guess is they probably didn't have time to. There's some ideas of what they could do when they could adapt them. Like, my friend Edgar basically suggested maybe they could adapt the Sakura one in a miniseries. I don't see why not. I mean, yeah, it's set earlier than Boruto, but at least it'd be something interesting. I mean, heck, there's a certain number of years that could be, like between like the ending of Naruto Shippuden and the start of Boruto. Well, the only thing we got that period of time that was shown in animation was the day Naruto became Hokage. That's it. That's the only thing that's been shown. But there's plenty of potential storytelling there that you could tell, like many adventures they made it went on. Yeah, it's an era piece. So what? They can at least show them going on adventures, do something. Who knows? Um, Another thing, myself and my friend Jeremy wanted to see. He wanted to see Choji meet Corny, I think her name is. Yeah, she's the she's Killer Beast's female student. Yeah, they never got a chance to meet, or at least hook up, because that would have been a relationship some people like myself would have loved to see the start of. The only relationship we did get started, aside from of course Naruto Hinata, was Sai and Ino, and Shikamaru and Tamari, which in the final episode they actually showed it where they actually went to the wedding, Naruto Hinata's wedding. Well, Shikamaru and Tamari officially went as a couple. Same thing with Sai and Ino, they went as a couple. Which you gotta at least praise Shikamaru and Sai for going with gorgeous women and both of them being blondes. The only difference between the two of them is that size-wise, Ino is actually a little more smaller in a way, but Tamari is actually a lot more bigger. She's a lot more bulkier than Ino is. Yeah, that's the biggest difference between the two of them. Yeah. But let's see, what other things I wanted to see? What do you think? I would love to see also how the other people who became one of the other three Kages, how they became Kage, like when the Razakage A stepped down to have Durai I think his name is, when he became Razakage. Same thing with the Tazakage, when he stepped down and handed off to his granddaughter like this. I would have loved to see that. And of course the Mazakage, she handed off to one of her handed off to a bodyguard, who happened to be one of the seven swordsmen. Now the other two kind of made sense because Dorai basically was actually a very good protector of the Razakage's secrets, and he did have interest to become Razakage. In the case of Korichi, I think her name is, when she became the Tazakage, it kind of made sense because her grandfather was her predecessor. In the case of Chizui, I think his name is, he's one of the seven swordsmen of the mist. When he became the Mazakage, it didn't make much sense, but I guess they want a new generation. Who knows? But it would have been nice to see these characters, see who they hooked up with. Another thing I would have loved to see is if they ever wanted to do this. Now Gaara, from what I can tell, he does have kids. He has like 2 kids. Yes, Gaara himself has got 2 kids. It would have been nice to see who the mother is. My theory, and people agree with me, it's probably Mizumi, his former student, that is probably the mother of his kids. If that's the mother, I would love it. I'd just like to see him actually, see who he actually ended up with. Because one thing I did notice, though, a lot of the characters did get, ended up with other characters. There are some who never got a romantic attachment with somebody. Another one I'd like to see is a little bit more of interaction between Kiba and Granny Cat's granddaughter. That would have been nice, but yeah, they met toward the end of the original end of Shippuden, and apparently Kiba wants to send her some letters, but nothing really came of it. I don't know if she was even invited to Naruto and Hinata's wedding. As far as I know, Naruto has met her once, and that was to get a paw print from this giant cat. Yeah, Naruto has met her once. Sasuke basically has known her for years because, well, she's known ally of the Uchiha clan. So yeah, it was also nice to see more of the reception. I mean, you got a chance to see the giant wedding cake that Naruto and Hinata had, but That would have been nice to see more of that. And of course, the other characters' weddings, that would have been nice too. Another thing that might be interesting, if they ever actually did this, see who Kakashi ended up with, because it's never been shown exactly if he ever had. The only woman I could think of he ever had interest in was this woman who showed up at the village once, who apparently is good at playing the guitar, and lovely woman. And it's possible he may have had attraction to her. It's never really stated. It's a possibility. They accidentally did kiss once while he was wearing his mask. But yeah, that would have been nice. Another thing that would have been nice to see is like who the mysterious woman was that Rock Lee married. Yeah, because from what I've heard, he married an unknown woman. There's a rumor swirling around that it might be Tenten. Who knows? It just how it depends on who they reveal who really the mother is. I mean, it's kind of the thing with Metal Lee. I mean, Metal Lee. I mean, people know that some people do know that he is the son of Rock Lee, but who is his mother? I heard one person suggest it might be Tenten, might be his mother, because, well, his face is very similar to that of Tenten. So it could be that Rock Lee and Tenten could have hooked up, but they've never shown a romantic attraction to each other at all, which is weird. And Tenten, despite being my third favorite character, she's the one character who got the least amount of character development both in the show and the manga. I enjoy the character simply because, well, she's a woman who can summon tools out of scrolls. I mean, it could be various different weapons. It could be a chakra sword, a giant spike ball, a mace. It could be anything. I mean, she's one of two characters in the show who actually uses scrolls as part of a weapon. The only other character I've ever seen do that is Sai. He's the only other one I've seen use that. But yeah. I will do a special one I would like to see in Boruto, but Shippuden, I gotta say, was a really good show to watch. I highly recommend, despite there is filler in the show, a lot of the filler is really, really good. Like, I mean, yes, some of the seasons, if you marathon through them, it probably won't take you too long to get through them. The only one to take you the longest is season 20. Excuse me, that's because half the season is filler. Yep. Half the season is filler. The original Naruto show basically about let's say most of season 4 and almost the entirety of season 5 is filler. But it's good filler. None of it's bad. Like I think of maybe one or two bad filler episodes, but all in all, the filler episodes do kind of well, because if you read the manga, there's a small jump before the 2.5-year jump between the departure chapter and the one that came before that. There's a 3-month jump. The filler episodes, in my honest opinion, actually do fill that jump really well. I mean, it gives Naruto something to do during that 3-month jump, because if you watch both the show and you read the manga at the same time, it's simply put not much different. I mean, yes, the beginning of season 4 is the chapter that came before departure. But in case you're wondering about the whole Kakashi thing, that's actually adapted from a very short set of chapters that came right after departure. So that is from the manga. The stuff with Jiraiya is not from the manga. It's original to the anime, but I think it's probably canon. Who knows? Let me think. I'm glad the fact the show got a chance to adapt pretty much every single chapter of the manga, except for the last chapter. Yeah, for some reason the epilogue, from what I can tell, was partially adapted for that final post-credit scene. But as far as I know, the last chapter was never fully adapted at all. I don't really know why. One theory I had, and a couple of people have this theory, that it could have been the last episode of the whole series, but that never happened. But Naruto still has plenty of story opportunities to do stuff like fill in that particular gap of period of time, like between the film, in between when Naruto and Naga's wedding and the start of Boruto. There's a certain gap of period of time that you could tell more stories. I mean, Naruto is still open to tell plenty of good storytelling. It would just depend. Like, either it could be another light novel they could release, which who knows if they could adapt it or not. tell more anime episodes, probably do more anime with it, like doing their movie, a mini series. It just depends on what Parrot wants to do, but I think Parrot wants to focus on Boruto right now. But yeah, that's all I want to say when it comes to my final thoughts on Naruto Shippuden and what the show still could have done. But next time I talk about Naruto, the original thing, will be in the special. When But that's really it. That's all I gotta tell. But I will do a special where I talk about the 3 OVAs that I haven't watched yet. Um, which I will, by the way. I will get a chance to watch them sometime in the future. Might get a chance to watch them, but that's probably one of the last things I probably talk about when it comes to Naruto, the original Naruto show. But I think probably the rest of the time probably just talk about um, Boruto, which is still a good show. And looking forward to next week, which is gonna have Sadara show up in the show. Okay, so that's it. Stay tuned for more videos. Just all decide what they're going to be on. So be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and comment below. Leave the comments down below and and tell what exactly you wanted to see the show do, but never got a chance to. That Shippuden never got a chance to do because of, well, Boruto coming up and what kind of stories that Naruto could have told. Please, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, okay? But until I see you in my next video, bye.